Mount Susitna is shaped in the form of a woman because thousands of years ago, when native tribes went to war, a lady who had the fiercest warrior of all the land, they met at the bottom of this little peak, which wasn't as big as it was, and she sent him off to war, and he never returned, and she promised him that she would stay there until he came back. She eventually froze to death, and snow piled on her, and she eventually grew and grew and became a mountain. And that's known as Mount Susitna, and it's across the bay from Alaska. And this was cited from Mount Susitna / Sleeping Lady in Alaska.org. Thousands of years ago, native tribes came from Russia, crossed an ice bridge down into Alaska, and completely separated and boomed out. And they span thousands of miles all the way into Canada as well. According to Liz Ruskin from KTOO, this is what she has pictured of all the languages and groups that are still present in Alaska to this day. Something that isn't known by most people is that when Russia came in the 1800s, they came up the Aleutian chain and occupied up to Eyak, but people say that they occupied all of Alaska. They did not. They were actually slaughtered by the Native Americans in the Dianina, the Eyak, and the Alutiiq. They first came for fur all the way up the Aleutian chain and completely devastated the sea otter population. And once they got up into towards the mainland, the native people said, "We're not having it," and killed all of them. Next, I would like to talk about the nature and the beauty of Alaska. As you can see here, there's many trees, many mountains. These mountains, when you're here, look very big, but they're actually around 700 miles away. That just tells you the scale of all the mountains there. 17 out of the 20 biggest peaks in North America are in Alaska as well. This picture was taken late March, early April, and there's still snow on the ground. There's snow around 8 months of the year, and the temperatures can range from 105 to -60 in parts of Alaska as well. And the sun does go down, the sun does come up. The longest day in my town is 19 hours and 20 minutes, and that goes as well as the longest night is the same. The equinoxes are the highest, most light, and the most darkness, I guess you could say, for Alaska as well. According to Forbes, Alyeska, which is a mountain over here, is ranked 7th in all of the resorts in North America for skiing as well. Activities range, of course I have to get my beautiful face up there, but anyway. As you can see, fishing, baseball, hockey is another major sport, skiing, snowboarding are all activities that you can use and do. I personally played baseball, won state twice. I'm a championship fisher, no big deal, catch a lot of fish. Other things you can do is a lot of hikes. There's a lot of mountains, so there's lots of hikes you can do. I want to say there's around 1,000, 1,500 miles of trails just in my town alone. As you can see behind me in that second picture, the Chugach mountain range goes completely around my entire city, and you can hike every single peak, and there's a trail for every single one. I hope I gave you a little bit of knowledge about Alaska. Here is the city that I live in, Anchorage, and you can see the Chugach mountain range. And I hope that you came out with a little bit more knowledge of where I come from. Thank you.